What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sister Time podcast. I am Chanel Latrice.
And I'm Sharice.
And Siobhan.
And today we actually have a few guests. This is a continuation of the conversation we had before with men and women, 30s, dating, and all of that jazz. So we have some special guests. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Go ahead, E. You're usually the bomb at these introductions.
Not when you spoke first. I mean, if that's how it's going to be.
I ruined it. My bad.
Well, ladies, we want to thank you for inviting us. My name is E. That's Courtney, and we are from Bruh. It's a podcast. It's three of us. Unfortunately, our third man Q couldn't make it today, but we're definitely excited to get into some nice discussions with you, wonderful ladies. Thank you for having us on.
We're excited for you guys to be here.
I am excited for this discussion.
That makes me feel a little scared. That makes me feel a little scared.
No.
I thought I was going to feel welcome. No, I feel scared now.
No,
I feel scared.
Thing is, with it coming from her, she probably is more excited to see the two men in here.
They'll see.
You'll see. So, for anybody who did not actually catch the last episode, what we were talking about was
Hold on, pause. If you didn't catch the dating episode, stop this, go back, listen to that one, and then come back. That's what we want you to do. But
it was the second. It was probably the second to the last episode, but
it was. It was the second to the last episode of the season. Go listen to the whole season, then come back, talk to us later.
I mean, I guess that's true. That would be way better.
Yeah, do that.
But comma, let's go ahead and just recap what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what we were talking about was, do women have to choose essentially when they're in their 20s if they want to focus on career or relationship and family? And the reason behind that is basically when women are in their 30s, are they becoming less desirable to men, more specifically successful men, very successful men?
Somebody watched that Kevin Samuels nigga. That's what happened.
Me, because you remember I came up with the topic, and that is it wasn't even just
remember
him.
Which one of them watched it, but one of them
when
watched
his
that
when his video went viral, a lot of YouTubers were touching on that topic, and that's why I brought up that initial topic. And I don't know if we want to talk about that first, and then get into the question I asked that kind of sparked.
Go ahead now, just ask your question, then we'll let it flow.
The question I asked on that episode was, should you make yourself more desirable for the man you want? So I want you guys to answer that, I guess, because they already answered that question in the last episode.
So who's going first, me or you, Courtney?
I mean, you answered the first one first. I'll start off with this one, then you come in.
All right. On one of our episodes, in one of our earlier episodes, probably like our third episode ever recording, we were talking about what do you first see in a woman? When do you first see a woman? And of course, we went through the physical and so forth. And one of our esteemed brethren said confidence is the first thing he sees in a woman. Of course, he got clowned for that, but it is what it is. But your question was very much so interesting because you said, should you make yourself more desirable for your potential spouse or your boyfriend or your interest? The reality of the situation is that you need to make yourself more desirable for yourself. All right, because confidence looks good on somebody, and there's nobody that is going to make you love yourself more than yourself, right? You can have somebody who can show you your value. You can have somebody shower you with this and that, but until you recognize how special you are or how different you are, it's just going to fall on deaf ears. They might help, but the root of it is going to come from you. So you should make yourself desirable for yourself, because my philosophy is what I always tell people is, you want a 10, right? But 10s want 10s too. Right? 10s don't want 3s, 10s don't want 1s, 10s want 10s too. So I would argue that you should make yourself more desirable for yourself, and then the other thing is going to work on its own.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool and all, but what ends up happening is, I mean, the secret is, ladies, like, there's nothing you really can do to make yourself more desirable or not. Like, yeah, sure, there's like the margins when it comes down to it. But like, if he wants to, he wants to. If he doesn't want you, he doesn't want you. Like, we can go around all the semantics and like beat the bush down in terms of like what it is. But like, just like I'm sure females, y'all make a decision within that initial interaction, or when you continue, where you know what's going to happen or not, or a general idea. It's the same thing for a man. Like we talk about all these things that we want and that we don't want, and the things that we're looking for. Like those decisions have been made. Now, how long things are, are continued or based on, your interactions, what you're willing to give up, or how you look, or whatever the case is. But to me, in my opinion, like all that stuff is like real. It's decided early. Like you'll be driving yourself crazy trying to figure out how to make yourself more desirable, because like with him, that decision's already been made. It's just like, how are you coming along this ride while I'm making this decision at the same time?
Follow-up
I
question.
don't. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
A quick follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
So you say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we all know that people sacrifice things or
Mhm.
overlook things in the
Compromise,
beginning, right?
you mean compromise?
No, because y'all don't let it go. Y'all just don't acknowledge it in the moment. Like, let's see what it is. You overlook for a second.
Yeah.
So now you meet somebody, whoever your person may be, and they hit everything except one thing. Like, I don't know, she don't cook or don't like to cut her toenails or whatever it may be that your one thing is. I don't know. But how long can you overlook that because the other 9 things are there?
I'll go first again.
Oh yeah, go for it.
There are certain things that are non-negotiables. Like for example, you said cutting your toenails. That might be a non-negotiable. All right. Like that might be a non-negotiable. I'm not getting scratched that night. I'm not buying new sheets every month. Like, no, that's not how we roll. You know what I mean? But there are certain things that are non-negotiable. There are certain things, and you're right. Dating everybody is different. You might overlook some things, or you might not see a quote unquote red flag, or something might seem minimal at first, but as the relationship continues to grow, and another thing, right? Like I do understand your perspective as that, but you do have to be real, right? As the relationship does grow, things might tend to grow for the better or for the worse. Like I don't know that I don't like somebody who smokes until I start messing with somebody who smokes, right? And then I'm like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I didn't know I didn't like a smoker, but now I do. But in regards to Courtney's thing about having his mind made up, I think that's harsh. I don't think all men are like that. Everybody has a list of things that they want. Right? Everybody has a list of things that they want. And you're right. Depending on what your mindset is, as the man, I can speak for a man, right? Depending on what your mindset is, if we trying to wife you, all right, then it's a different thing from if we're trying to just mess around, or if we're just having a good time, right?
You're literally agreeing with it though, as you say that.
No.
I feel like
I'm explaining it. Go ahead.
I feel like I have to throw something in there because I'm talking about in the dating pool. Like, you guys aren't together yet. So I feel like it might be a little different. Say if you're single, you're about to go into the dating world. Should you make yourself look desirable to the man that you want to attract? That's what I was trying to say. You guys aren't together yet.
But I understood it as that too, like even before then, because like once you get with somebody, then you kind of overlook things and you grow comfortable. Right. So you mean like you're about to go out, right? So you're saying to yourself, in the dating world, I want this. I have a list of things I want. I want this man to be 5'9" or up. That's kind of short. That's the first thing that came to my head.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Stop.
Make 80,000. Sorry.
5'9" not that short.
Hey, she said that number. I was like,
right. Like that's short. Like stop. Just because all your boyfriends in the NBA, just stop. Just stop, right?
Well, my boyfriend, he's like 6'1", but has like $80,000. I have this list. Yeah. So shouldn't I make myself desirable to the man that I want? That's what I was saying.
Okay. I see what you're saying. It's funny because now I feel like my answer is gonna be worse. So
it's fine.
Yeah, but in the sense of, I mean, we've seen like drastic changes or differences, like between like, let's say like a successful man and like maybe him dating someone who's either not as successful but like looks are like up there, right? So like you're very, very attractive and you may not make any money, but you check off the one box that he's looking for that time, and then that's what makes it desirable to him at that time. Like trying to, as a woman, like make yourself more desirable in a lot of boxes, I also feel might be a losing battle, because to be honest with you, I feel like you only need one. Go ahead.
I never said a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
I just said whatever. Say if that man that I want, only thing he wants is beauty. Is it okay for me to make myself desirable in that sense? Because a lot of men, especially high value men, they probably don't have a lot of boxes.
So I think, to be fair, you need to, not you specifically, but in general, that person needs to find out what they want, right? Because if it's just dating and you just want to go on a date, or you just want to have a good time and you just want to do that, then fine. Make yourself look desirable for that night, that evening, or whatever tenure you want. But to my fault was I was thinking long term, right? You clarified it when you said dating. That makes it much easier for me, because I thought you were thinking about long term. Like if I'm trying to attract a doctor, do I have to go to school? Do I have to or something like that?
No. It could be a doctor that you want to marry eventually.
So and that's what I'm saying is, like, it's different when you classify it that way, because if you're looking for marriage, you're looking for more things than just attraction, because people develop and they change over time. What you were looking for in your 20s is not necessarily what you're looking for in your 30s and what your 40s and so forth. So I would still say continue to make yourself better, develop on yourself, so you have confidence in yourself, and whoever likes you for who you are, that's going to better off you in the long run.
Aren't those two different things anyway, though? Like when you talk about desire, like desire is what gets you, and then the long-term stuff is like what you figure out after.
They
right?
are two different things, yes.
So,
but you have to get them to desire you, to want you to work on that stuff later. I think where the disconnect was last time, I feel like people was thinking that's all I think that a woman needs, but no, you need to have the door open before you can walk through it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need that
so you're talking about the
desirability. The what? The trap?
Yes,
so you're talking about the
trap.
If that's what you want to call it, then sure. But you have to have somebody to look at you. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be enough.
To me,
that's how I feel.
To me, I just feel. To me, I feel like that's deceiving in a way, because let's just say you're a tomboy. And the guy that you're allegedly interested in likes somebody who wears dresses all the time and wears high heels and stuff like that. So you decide to wear high heels and dresses all the time, hoping that you can get a glimpse and get that door open for you. And then, okay, he likes that. But what he sees is somebody who wears dresses all the time and so forth. And then 3 months later, you got comfortable. And now you go on dates in jeans and Chucks, and he's like, "Wait a minute, you know what I mean? I don't know.
You shouldn't do that. I'm not saying deceive.
But that's the thing. It's like that's what. But see that I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but that's what a lot of people do. That's that bait and switch a date, because you always meet the representative, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
don't do that.
People go out and they present this representative, this picture perfect person to fit whatever the person they're interested in is after, and then y'all get comfortable, and then the Nike slides come out, and he like, "Whoa, what are we doing?" Like that's what happens a lot.
I'm curious, like, what do you feel, or like, what do y'all think men desire? Like, what do you think are like if you gave me like a list of like 3 to 5 things that you're like, I think these are like what men desire, what they would want from a woman. Like, I'm curious to think what.
I have no
when you
idea.
say, hold on. I'm gonna take a stab at it. When you say what do we think you desire, are you referring to which bucket are we looking at? Are we looking at dating?
We'll go dating.
Or late or long term?
That's what she was talking about. Yeah, we'll start with that.
Okay, so I feel like dating is, if you have no desire of long term, it's pretty superficial. So if you're going just dating, if I want to say 3 things, I don't know, maybe she looks good in the sense of face and body, whatever that happens to be for you. Maybe she dresses nice, and I don't know, maybe like her, like the way she carries herself. Confidence actually is a good one. Yeah, so I'll say confidence, the way she actually looks, and well, I can't remember the third thing I said.
Looks good, dresses
Looks
good,
good,
confidence.
dress nice, confidence.
I
If
just
you're
want you guys.
going,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
if you're going just dating, superficial, I feel like that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
I genuinely do not know because I don't date people, so I do not know.
I mean, I very well could be wrong because I date men.
I'll add one.
Okay.
I'll add one. I think peace. I've heard that like men want peace.
But I
want
think
somebody who's
peace-
all like nagging them and just.
That feels a
I
very
think peace-
hotep answer.
But I think peace is a long. I think peace is a long-term thing. Because if you're dating, you're
Maybe,
going back home.
maybe.
She's at her home.
Yeah, you're right.
Home,
Them-
you can easily leave.
Okay.
So I think peace
I can get you with that
long
one.
term.
So I think.
I guess
I think-
I agree with yours.
I think the only fair question is for Courtney to tell us what men look for in their
That's
wedding.
what I was just
Yeah.
about to say.
I was waiting.
Oh, I'm just answering all of mankind. I was just curious of what it was. What I will do,
How close is that?
you
Is
know
it
what though? What I will
Very
do, I
far
feel like
off.
the three answers y'all gave, that was really good. Like peace, I would agree that's probably more long term.
Yeah.
Instead of confidence, I personally, I don't know the right word for this, but like the personality / like humor of it, like you just being like
Easy to talk to.
yeah, like easy to talk to, like kick it with, like I think that's one of the most like underrated things that like women really like. There's like a personality type that I think just might be it, but like think about who your friends are, right? Like you can literally kick it with your friends for hours and not even talk about a damn thing, right? Like that has an effect. Like when you talk with somebody over the first 5 minutes, where you're like, it's kind of like what he was saying before. Like when you make that initial distinction, it's like, oh, okay, this person's an idiot, but like she's really attractive, so I've capped it here. But like once that initial block of like, oh, I can like, oh, I literally look down on my phone and like we've been here for an hour and I didn't even notice, then you're like, oh, okay, hold on, just kind of steps up to like another level. So I would probably say that last confidence thing, because I know a lot of men are intimidated of confident women, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I wouldn't say that that's probably one of the first things that they're looking for, just because I know a majority of men are just, I mean, I'm not going to insult my mankind right now on radio.
You already did, but
I know, right?
I got a question about the confidence thing, because this seems to be so, it's like you say a lot of men are intimidated by confidence, but then when you get a woman that's not confident, you turned off. So how can you have it both ways? When I say turned off, as in like someone who's just super insecure and kind of quiet, like it's like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you just open up, be yourself, whatever? But when she's confident, it's also like, let me leave her alone.
Can I butt in though? Can I butt in and speak for the man?
Let's let them answer first. And then.
I want to answer.
I'll let you butt in, because literally I was just gonna say like, because men are idiots, right? Like
I want to butt in just to see if I'm correct.
Go ahead.
But I feel like there's only a certain type of man that would get turned off by confidence. A man that's secure in himself, they're gonna love it. The man that gets turned off by confidence, you don't want him anywhere. Right?
No, not turned off, intimidated. Because I don't think.
Oh yeah, intimidated. Yeah, you're right. Intimidated. I don't think a secure man that knows what he's bringing to the table is going to get turned off by that woman's confidence. So confidence is a good thing for a certain type of man.
But also, what ends up happening with confidence too, this is on both sides of the spectrum with like a male and female, right? Is just because you have confidence, sometimes how you show that confidence comes off incorrectly, right? So it might not even be sometimes that I'm intimidated by it. The way that you showed it kind of came off in a different way.
Arrogant.
It was more arrogant than it was confident.
Yeah.
And that just might be because I don't know you and I don't know how to interact with you. So I'm immediately like, okay, I'm not putting up with that, right? So sometimes that's something that can come in between two people too, I say.
I don't know. The confidence thing is kind of a double-edged sword for me. One, because people don't know the difference between confident and arrogant. But bigger than that, it's also almost every time I hear a man say, I was attracted to her confidence, it's because he wanted to say something way more shallow, but didn't want to sound like that. So
in other words, I like the way she walked in those heels.
Exactly. I like the way that booty was jiggling when she was walking. Like it's always something way more shallow, and they just don't want to say that.
What's crazy is there's nothing wrong with that. Like I think with
it's just not PC anymore. It's not PC
honestly,
anymore.
I wish people would just be more upfront because
Just
let's be honest. Let's be honest. The thing that the reason you started talking to her or you started talking to him is because you like the way they look. Like let's stop lying to ourselves. I saw that ass
across the club. Then just
let's stop lying to ourselves.
But maybe you can handle that. Another person like, what a creep. Like,
maybe
you can handle that.
Different.
Yeah.
What's wild is once you get into the long term of a relationship anyway, what are the things that we want to hear, right? Oh, you look good today. I like the way that you look.
Exactly.
I like the way you dressed up. It's like, it doesn't change. I think it's when you wait it too much where it's like, all right, this is all you care about. All right, we got now.
Yeah, like it needs to be okay to have standards physically. It's like you like a girl with a big butt. That's okay. The little girls with a small butt might feel offended, but it's like he didn't down you. That's just what he liked. I think we need to bring back preferences. Right now in 2021, like everybody is so sensitive and everybody wants to be liked by everybody.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case.
It's the Instagram generation. Everybody wants to be liked by everybody. Everybody wants to be famous, and y'all ain't built for that.
We need another question since we all agree on this one. We need something else to spice it up.
It could just be a rolling conversation, just kind of in general. But
we can.
Go ahead.
Because we can go to what the whole debate was about last time.
Oh yeah, dating in your 30s for women.
They're prioritizing career to relationship.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about when we were
talking about a lot of shit.
When the conversation specifically went toward, do you think, going back to the cooking, do you think if cooking is what he's looking for, you should you should learn how to cook? Like, if you have, there's 10 things on this list. Okay, hold on. There's 10 things on this list. You already have 9. The 10th one is, I like a woman that cooks every night. Should she then learn how to cook just to be able to get you?
See, these are the things this is what's confusing to me again, right? Because now for us to just be in dating or just open a door, I got to take a cooking class. Like that.
Well, but it's some women out there who do stuff like that though. Like that's the wild thing.
Honestly, I feel like that was the whole back and forth. I mean, because now Sharice, you can, because the question came from you when you brought up the cooking thing. Are you legitimately only talking about dating, or are you talking about someone that you're dating with the intentions of long term?
I was talking about you are a woman who wants to be married sooner than later. And in your experience, you have found that the type of man that you want really enjoys cooking. You have a lot of things on this list that a man wants. You check off a lot of boxes and you're like, I don't mind cooking, so I'll do it.
But you're referring to long term though, right?
She wants a long-term relationship. Yes. She wants to be married.
Okay.
She wants to be married. She's not doing it just for no, fly-by-nighter.
Okay.
Okay. I see what you mean.
So that adds a little bit more sense to me, because, for example, I think we all have done this. Like, even if you have a 10 checklist, you're willing to date somebody who has 8 or 9. Like, you're not just gonna be like, okay, it's a dub, unless it's like I said, unless it's like
because I hold on, I don't want to cut you out. I just need to change that, because Chanel, you did say 10. What I said, the person has 10 things on their list, you have 7 to get you to 8. No, because that makes a little difference, because that sounds like you're trying to be perfect, and you usually get about no more than 80%. So go ahead now.
All right. Yeah. So just to go back on my thought, and thank you for the clarification, Sharice. It does enlighten the question a little bit more. But what I was gonna say is, like, if we're gonna date, and then you'll see what can happen over time and so forth. But if you are in the state where you've dated people and all the men that you liked were like, I need somebody who cooks, And then for you, you were just like, that's not what I do. And you were just headstrong about it. Yeah, if that's what you realize that can help, it can help attract the man that you want, but also it's better for you too. But I also feel like, I don't know, this might be wrong, but I also feel like even if you're dating somebody and, for example, the person didn't cook and the person likes home cooked meals, you just want to develop. Right? You like, hey, one day, I'm not saying you got to become the chef all day and you got to cook every day, but you just do a little bit more just to help out in the relationship. I might do laundry. I didn't do any laundry. I might want to do laundry to help you out, or I might clean your car. I might, just little things that you do to help the relationship.
So then does that change? So now what? You like singing. All right, now I'm gonna learn how to sing like Brian McKnight. Now you like to go on bike. Like, no. You gotta like what you like to do. You can't, if you try to do all this stuff, all you're gonna do is just be miserable while you're doing all this stuff that they want to do anyway. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna learn how to cook, then they're gonna complain about how you were cooking, or it's not the way that they wanted to do, which is something you damn well didn't want to do anyway. You're gonna be upset about it, you're gonna be annoyed about it the whole time, and then it's not gonna work anyway. If you come to it and you're like, look, this is me, every once in a while we could try something, but like don't expect it, because all these things that are like basically like superficial like blocks that are just going to last for as long as you feel like putting up with, is going to be a detriment to the relationship anyway. So yes, I get it. You want to do self-improvement, you want to make yourself look better. I get all of those things, but it doesn't matter. If it's not something you intrinsically want to do, it really doesn't matter. Everybody's going to revert back to who they are as a person anyway. So at the end of the day, cool, you took a class. I'll tell y'all right now, I took a coding class last year. I wanted to learn how to code. Ask me if I could write you one line of code right now. I promise you I tried. I promise you I tried. So like these things, you're just going to go back to who you are as a person. So I think it's a waste of time. It's a wasted effort. If it's not you, I just feel like it's not getting you nowhere.
Okay, so we're just going to agree that don't do anything to help your potential spouse. Like, you found me how I am.
That is not what he said. You found me how I am, and that's it. Because that's the same point I was arguing last time.
I was like, it was so funny. That's exactly where we were.
That's literally the point I was arguing last time.
You're going to have some trash ass rice and peas that you're going to give it to your husband.
You're right.
You're going to be mad the whole time talking about love.
That's not true. That's not true. Now you lying. For somebody who's done, because if somebody does something for you and they tried honestly, you might be like, yo, this was terrible. I'm sorry. Let's go out to eat. And he'll never bring up food ever again.
Y'all going to the extreme.
It ain't even gotta be about the extreme though, because if you think about it, but really though, if you think about it, if you're making a change or doing whatever it is because you are looking to improve your dating prospects, it's not gonna last. It's because it wasn't for you. It wasn't something that you woke up and was like, I think I'm gonna learn to make some lasagna today. Like, that's not what happened.
Because to me, thinking like that is the extreme, right? Like if you've gone through a set of, let's say, like 5 potential partners, and you notice that all of these things, like you said, like we're in common. I got to learn how to cook, but you've never had the interest of learning how to cook, right? So now let's suppose you okay, go ahead.
I did not say that she didn't have the interest. It was like, I cook every once in a while. I feel like that's what happened last time. Y'all took what I said to extreme. Like she can't cook. She burns rice. She burns water, and she hates cooking. Not saying that. What I'm saying, she don't stop it. I see she started this, and she was like, I cook every now and then.
Because that's not what you said last time.
It's different.
What you said, no. What you said last time was she may have been thinking about it. So to be able to attract this particular person, I'm gonna learn how to do it. Not she does it every now and then. It's already an individual that does not do it, but it was something that she's kind of.
I feel like I eventually cleared it up. That it's not something that when she talking to her girlfriend, I hate cooking. I'm always going to eat.
And
that's not what I'm saying. I thought that's how I cleared it up last time, but it's something that you got to eat. She probably also tired of eating out every day, but it's something that you don't mind doing. I feel like for somebody to say that you don't change a little bit for your partner, I feel like you're not telling the truth.
But that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
saying
That's
what
what
you
I
just
think.
said is not changing a little
That's
bit.
not
though.
changing a little bit.
So you said, like, if she's saying this is not something, let's suppose like she's decent at cooking, let's say, right? She's decent at cooking. She doesn't hate it,
Mhm.
but it's not something that she does consistently on a consistent basis. If you don't do something on a consistent basis and then you start doing it on a consistent basis, that's a major change. That's not a small change. Like that's something that
I never said do it every day. I'm just saying,
But no,
just maybe do it a
consistently, it
little
doesn't
bit
have to
more.
be every day.
Even on it don't have to be every day, but on
Consistent
any
doesn't mean
level
every day.
of consistency.
Yeah.
And if it
I
was like
mean-
I do this shit twice a year, and now I'm doing it 3 times a week, it's
I-
like
I don't believe y'all. So you
I'm
change something about yourself for that partner.
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you this:
real-
I ain't started
I'm-
cooking till I had kids. So
I'm wrong. Now we know you
I
love your
think-
kids more than you love your man.
Now-
But what I'm saying is,
I think,
what I'm
hold on,
saying
wait a
is,
minute. I
hold on,
think,
can I just say something?
Go
I know
ahead,
this- I know-
go
I know-
ahead,
I know this is your
go
show,
ahead.
Chanel. I know this is your show. I'm sorry. But I am agreeing with Sharice, because the reality situation is whether it's consistent, whether it's from 2 times a week to 4 times a week, that's an increase. Whether it's from 0 to 4 times a year, that's an increase. I listened to my girl talk about hair. I had no interest in hair. We sit down together and she's watching Instagram videos of how people do braids. You think I ever cared about that stuff? I still don't care about that stuff. But I sit there and I listen. Why? Because she shows interest in it. I think as you are in a relationship, eventually you do it for your spouse. You might not even like it. I don't know how to do a braid till this day, but I've done watched hours. I mean, why? Because we sat down and we watched it together.
Why aren't you doing the braids?
Because I don't know how to do it.
But
And I
you
won't
want
know-
to-
but
and
you
I
also
won't
have no
want you to
interest in
learn how to do
learning.
it.
Yeah,
Learn
yes,
it.
you're right. I have
care?
absolutely no interest in learning how to do braids, but I will still listen to her complain about locks and whatever the heck they're called. And I just be like this, oh yeah, that does look nice. Why? Because she cares about it. And you do that for your spouse. Go
You're
ahead,
describing
Chanel.
a different
Before you
situation.
okay,
Before you kick me out, go ahead.
because I feel like what you just said is actually pretty equivalent to something that I have done. I can't stand, and y'all may get mad at me, I call them superhero movies, all of them. Superhero action figure, I really don't care. I don't like them, never cared, don't want to watch them. Not my thing, not gonna learn about them. I had somebody, he loved them. Can you watch this with me? I'm like, I watch it. I'm not learning anything about the Avengers. And I don't feel like that's the same as, no. I don't feel like that's the same as I'm going to start cooking for you.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't feel like those are the same
sit
things.
and watch the
Because
braided
there's,
videos.
I feel like a pivot and like things that you may sit with your partner doing is different than a pivot of you changing something that you are actually doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's, I think
Still
that's,
take it.
I think, I
Still
honestly
taking your
think that's,
time.
I think you guys just put cooking on a pedestal. I think you guys
No,
just,
no, no,
I think
no.
so,
But
because I feel like it's the same.
That's
Yeah,
just
I
your
feel like-
that
example.
you took.
yes, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you put cooking on a
It's the
pedestal
time that
because
it's the time that you took to go watch this movie. You probably got
hours.
dressed up to go to the movie theater,
I didn't.
and that long superhero.
that's how much she
superhero
didn't
movies-
care. She just put on
Right,
sweats and
Nah,
bounced.
but you know what
Superhero
the-
movies.
Go ahead.
Superhero movies are long. You took the time to go do that. Why is it different for me taking the time to boil some rice and grill up this chicken? It's different.
That's
Why?
different.
How's
No,
it
It's
different?
still different.
I feel like it's different.
The difference is this: if she goes and watches the superhero movie, that's one thing. If he says, "I enjoy the superhero movie and I want you to understand, so you can
And
talk
enjoy-
with me about them,"
Right.
Right.
that's the pivot of change.
That's
Now
the
it's
difference.
now it's
Change.
taking it up a notch, right?
But
Now
to
it's
be honest, even when I went to watch the movie, I fell asleep.
yeah.
It's
Also,
like
There.
it's like him
so-
watching the hair videos. Like he could sit and watch them.
Right.
But the
But
second
not
she said,
participate.
she
To
said,
have
"Babe,
no-
don't put this frontal
right,
on."
you're not
If you
participating.
learn
I'm
how
sorry.
to
I'm,
do
I'm
that,
so
that's
I'm
different.
so sorry, ladies. How many people are going to listen to me saying I watch hair videos? We might have to edit that. That's
You
gonna
might
damage.
get some more.
that's-
You might
that's
get
gonna
some more prospects.
Yeah, nah, I'm gonna lose my street cred though. You know what I'm saying?
You
You know what I'm saying?
can
But
you can help her take her weave off.
6 and 1, 6 and 1.
See, another thing that I need to say, if it's really that deep to you, you really don't want to do it, don't do it for him. Don't do it for him. Don't do it for nobody.
I mean, we could say that till we blue in the face, but you know how these bird ass bitches are. They still
Right, so
just get
I
out there and
feel
do it just because.
Right, that's
be
another
100
thing that might be misconstrued with what I was saying, that you have to be miserable. But if you're going to be miserable and lose yourself while cooking, don't do it. If you really don't mind cooking, because I really feel like you
Oh,
Uh-oh.
No, I got it.
do
I'll finish
not
your
mind
statement.
for your
I'll finish your statement.
I wholeheartedly believe that. What?
You got
Did I
you got to say it again because you froze a
You
little
You
bit.
froze up a little bit. We got to say it again.
But I'm
what
pretty sure you
part?
said they put cooking on the pedestal. I'm pretty sure that's what you were headed.
That's not what you said.
I was passionate too. What I was saying is, I gotta let everybody know I'm not telling you to be miserable in the kitchen, then you poisonous food and I got
What
cook.
the
I'm not saying do none of that. If you truly do not mind and you're not going to lose yourself, you have to do something for your partner that you used to not do. I really believe that you're going to do something.
But I
Yeah, like
those baseball
agree. I
games.
think it changes from like she was saying before, there's a difference from me participating in this event with you and then that understanding of participating in that event with you. Like it's two different things, right? Like you can be shallow in a situation in terms of like, I'll do it with you. I'll learn a little bit about it because it's your interest. It's different when you're asking that to now become my interest. And for me to do that also as well, like I'm doing it from your point of view, like on two different ends of the spectrum.
Now you all said that we putting cooking on a pedestal, but the thing is, it's like when it comes to a relationship, there are certain things that are more important than others. In any relationship, you have certain qualities, morals, whatever, on a pedestal, while other things you don't. So the things that you don't are the ones that's kind of like, all right, I'll grin and bear it for a little bit, just because they like me to be there with them. I'm still not investing my mental into what it is, my physical into what it is that they want. I am just like a being that's there because it makes you feel better.
But
I feel like that's the reason why it seems a little different in regards to sitting in the movie theater falling asleep while Avengers is playing and me cooking.
So here's why I'm saying I feel like you guys put cooking on a pedestal, because Sharice already said that your hard no's are your hard no's, right? That's established. That's established. If cooking is a hard no for you, this conversation is irrelevant to you. Because it is a hard no. What she also said was that you cook probably 2 times a week. So now he just wants you to cook a little bit more often. So this is no longer a hard no for you. This is something that you can just go on. If superhero movies were a hard no for you, you wouldn't have sat through it at all. You'd have been like, I was traumatized. You know what I mean? I saw this man running around with Superman in Halloween and it hurt me. So anything Superman I run from. You know what I mean?
And the thing is not everything is necessarily hard. No, let's say cooking is your yellow light. You got green, yellow, and red. Let's say cooking is your yellow light. But excuse me, damn it, if I want to leave it a yellow, it's gonna stay a yellow. It's not changing to green because you want it green.
That's a hard no, man.
Fine.
But that's not a hard no. That's not a hard no. No, it's not.
If it's damn it,
no, that's not a hard no.
If it's damn it, I do it this way and I'm not doing it anywhere else. That's a hard no.
But that's not what it is. No.
That's what it was for you.
That's not what it is. That's not what it is. Yellows are not hard no's. Yellows are not hard no's. Yellows have possibilities, but it's not. It's not.
But you
no.
damn it in there.
But
you know how
no. What I said
T?
was, I said, damn it, it's gonna stay yellow. So it's like, if it's a yellow, it's a possibility, but it can be pushed either way. And it's not going to be pushed to a green just because you wanted a green. No, it's not. It's still gonna stay a yellow because I want to leave it at a yellow.
Yes. That's the definition of compromise, E. When you compromise, right, you're both at a certain level and you meet at the middle, right? So if you do more than you're supposed to do for the compromise, it's not a compromise anymore, right? You're pushing down either to one side or you're pushing up to the other side. If you just do everything that the other person was going to do, that's not a compromise anymore. But the fact that I was willing to meet you halfway means it's not a hard no. I'm willing to meet you somewhere in the middle of whatever it is that we're going to do.
You guys just gave the definition of a chop and screw. Because what you said was, it's a yellow, I do it 2 times a week, and this is what I want it to be. Now, it's not going to move. There's a possibility that it might be more, but it's not going to move. You
No,
lied
I
to
didn't.
me.
No,
You
no,
lied
no,
to
no. I
me.
didn't. No. I did. I did not. No, I did not. I did not say it was not going to move. I said it's not going.
It's
to
not gonna
move.
move till she ready.
No, I said I'm
Oh.
not
I said
going
till
to
you
move
ready.
it. No, not you, Siobhan, Sharice. I was saying no, Sharice. I'm saying it's not going to move until I'm ready for it to move. It's not moving just for you. I'm not saying it's a hard no. I'm not saying it's never going to move. For all we know, it may be pushed to a red. It may be pushed to a green tomorrow, but that's on my terms, not yours.
Okay, so
I
you
feel
just
like that's the difference.
you just gave me an engagement ring and told me just wait.
I mean, if that's how you like it, sure.
That's what you did. That's what you did.
I just
You know-
wanted to clear up to let everybody know I'm not saying be miserable and to do things that you absolutely do not want to do. For me, maybe cooking is not that big a deal. Maybe we should do another example. Cooking not that big a deal to me because I should like doing it. So I think of it as you just sitting in a movie theater because it's like not that big deal to you. To me.
Because the thing is, to be honest, I mean, y'all know I've been cooking for a long time. I actually thoroughly
Right,
enjoy
so-
cooking. But my thing is I can put cooking, I can use that as the subject we're referring to, but still put it in a yellow and understand that you keep saying hard no. I'm not saying hard no's. I promise you, I'm not saying hard no's. I'm saying it's a yellow for me. And the yellow does not change to green just to be able to attract someone. My yellow is my yellow. Those aren't hard no's necessarily. It could be a yes in 5 years, but that's when it turns into a yes. When I decide to turn it into a yes, it doesn't turn into a yes just to be able to get you. It's not hard no, but it's also not hard yes. It's maybe. And since it's maybe, it's not going to turn to yes until I say I'm ready to turn it into a yes. And that's when on my terms, not on the terms of attracting you.
That's fair. That's completely fair. That's completely fair.
Yeah.
Now, that could be dead wrong, and that could be why I'm still single, but that's not the point. I'm just saying,
I wouldn't say
That's
it's
not wrong. That's
wrong.
not wrong.
If
That's
you,
not wrong.
If you ask me, I feel like it would just be difficult to think that you could just be you and just attract anybody you want because certain people want certain things. If you're not willing to move your yellows to green, by all means.
I mean, I
Do what you want to
that's
do.
what I did. I didn't like when I used to date way back in the day. I never was one to like change things, but it's also because I never had a checklist. I've always been a vibey bitch. So it's never been like, it was never like a checklist. It was like, are you matching my energy now? And once you're not, then we're not anymore. Like it's just.
I think people say that, but like when people go out, get dressed up, when people get dressed up to go out, yeah, you want to look nice, but you also want to attract.
But that's the vibe I'm in because depending on the way I'm dressed, it changes with the vibe I'm in. Like me going out and I could be in a, like a mini dress and high heels, or I could go out in sweats. It just depends on the vibe.
Regardless, a lot of times, especially when you go out to like clubs or something, you can say you just dressing for you, but people get their hair done not only for them. People get dressed up not only for them. So to me, the whole cooking scenario is on the same playing field. You're going to do it, and to say that you're doing it just for yourself is like, all right. So you don't care if nobody look at you and try to get your number when you go out?
No, I don't.
Well,
I definitely don't.
Maybe a couple of times, but come on.
I genuinely do not care. I do not give a fuck about that.
You wouldn't go on no date, then.
Well, then the thing,
I walk through life completely like nobody talks to me anyway. That's the thing. Like
hold on. I'm talking to you right now. Stop trying to play me.
But it's like
the thing about that with the whole, everything you do on some level is for other people. That can literally be everything. So I don't think it's necessarily fair to go into the realm of, well, you're getting dressed up for somebody to notice you. It's like, no, I'm just getting dressed up because I enjoy dressing up. But the reason I have my finger up, I want to ask this question. I know we're talking about women and the compromises that they make and the fact of, yellows should be greens to attract this man. Do we feel the same? Do men have to do the same thing in their 30s and push their yellows into greens?
Yeah.
There's some things.
Absolutely.
Oh, let the band speak.
I mean, absolutely.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm comfortable taking the bus and taking a train, but you want a brother with a car, don't you? You know what I mean?
Like, about to go financial.
I mean, I'm
I live in
comfortable.
New York.
I'm just saying, I'm
I hate
comfortable.
driving.
I'm comfortable walking or do like this, but you're gonna be like, so you're not gonna pick me up though? Maybe not you specifically, but that is the thing, right?
It is a thing.
You care about what kind of car I drive.
Okay.
You care. Go ahead.
Well, see, my thing is, it's like when you run into the people like that, why don't you just move on instead of attempting to change to be able to get that one?
But you can use that. Well, first and foremost, that's the first thing I said was work on yourself. That's the first thing I said was work on yourself and care about yourself. Number two, then if that's the reality situation, then that can apply to any and everything. You know what I mean? You want somebody in shape? Go find somebody at the gym. I'll just eat whatever the heck I want. You know what I mean? You want somebody,
Yes.
you want somebody who does their hair? Well, then don't look at me. I'll be nappy and headed. Like you can apply that principle to any and everything. And that's exactly why my initial answer was take care of yourself, and then everything else will fall into place. But the question what you asked was, do men do the same thing? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. I gotta get a whip. I gotta iron my clothes. Hopefully, I gotta cut my
might be
hair.
controversial too. I think men probably have to do it more than women, to be honest.
In
Because I
their
feel like-
30s? Wait.
Depends on what
Hold on.
age.
I want to hear
Depends
this.
on what
Let's
age.
go.
Yeah, that's what.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just feel like the standard of what a man wants and a standard of what women want are just so drastically different that like men are always, like it's just like there's a lot of things that maybe just don't hit the same. But like you're saying, like if you're a woman in your 30s, to my understanding, a lot of the times you're looking for
Somebody with a job.
someone with a job to be secure. Someone who at that age of 30 like has some level of like intelligence,
Doesn't live with his mom.
Like there's a lot of different things that you have on this checklist, right? That have to be, and like for a man in his 30s, you can still have a man in his 30s who's just like, look, I'm not really looking for anything else. I'm just looking to just have fun. If it leads to something, I'm more open, I'm more amenable to it now. But like, if you look good, you can cook, we can chill. Like I can maybe kick it with my family with you around now. Like it's just a lower barrier of like entrance than it is with
You
a
think
woman
so?
at the age of 30.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Because the reason I say that is because it may be a lower barrier to entry for a girl that you just trying to smash and see here and there. But if it's a girl that you talking about giving your last name to, that barrier entry ain't lower because she gotta be.
But you're talking
So
now.
it depends on the type of relationship
Exactly. You're talking
for.
about a smaller percentage of men at that point. Would y'all agree? Like you're talking about men that are looking for a serious commitment, or men that are just looking to just sleep with somebody, or just they don't know what they want. We'll just put it in the they don't know category. There is a larger percentage of men that are in that category than the men that are serious, that are looking for something serious, have all their ducks in a row and know exactly what they want.
And honestly, I feel like that's the reason they don't have to compromise as much, because they know they are the minority of what majority of the women are looking for. So it's like, well, if you don't want it, I'll go find somebody else who is going to take whatever I'm handing out. And they don't have to compromise. While women, on the other hand, I feel like, especially at the beginning, they have to show all of these qualities right up front, because the man's going to be like, man, I'll just go move on to whoever else, because I know I can get somebody else. I know that I'm only part of the 5% for you, while you're part of the 55% for me.
Exactly. But you know what ends up happening is if we agree that this is a smaller percentage of man, right? Because it's a higher caliber of man, we'll say, or higher value man, right? So the women that he's like you're saying, like, oh, I already know what I want. I'm turning it away. I already have my standards, blah, 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 blah. What ends up happening is instead of the 90% of women that these 10% of men are saying no to, what do? They're not looking at the other 90% of men. You're only looking for somebody else within that 10%, right? So those are your standards. You said to yourself, I'm only going to work with this type of man, which is the smaller 10%. So instead of you saying like, okay, maybe I'll lower my standards a bit and talk to these other men that may have their shit together, they may not, but because your standards are like, I just don't want to deal with this. I just want to find somebody within that 10%. So you're holding it to a higher standard because you want to stay in that bracket, right? You want to stay in that high value man bracket instead of just opening it up to everybody else. Whereas those 90% are willing to talk to damn near all 100% of women, no matter what your wants and needs are at that time. So that's probably what I would say, or my thoughts about that.
One thing I was going to say, I feel like men in their 20s do not have as many options because of what women typically want. They want like security, and most men in their 20s, they're just trying to figure out how to make like $100. So they don't really have that security of a family. And I feel like that's where a lot of women are looking for. So I feel like when you get older, it kind of shifts on who has more options. I feel like in your 20s, women are more desirable and have more options. In your 30s, men are more desirable and have more options. Typically, if both people are working on themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting perspective because it also depends on where the women are. I mean, are women in their 20s looking for security?
Yes.
Yes.
Women in their, I mean,
yes.
It's
Yeah.
security, but like superficial security.
Because I know,
like, does he have a car? Does he have a job? It's not like life set security. It's very superficial things. Like, can we do the shit I want to do without me paying for it?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh man, that's really great because when I was looking for women in my 20s, they just wanted to have fun. I mean, that's great to know. That's great to know. Now,
eventually, when she get in her upper 20s, she knows that we have a biological clock. Everybody knows that. So that's why we try to get security and lock a man down sooner than the men want to commit to a woman, because they don't have that same clock. And then they tend to make more money, of course, when they get to their 30s. And when you make more money, you have more options.
Yeah. And E, I think you're wrong. See, you're saying that they just wanted to have fun. Tell them, hey, let's go kick it in the park. Let's just have some bread and water. Let's just have a picnic every day. Like, I'm sure you were doing some things that involved a little bit of money in order to have fun.
Yeah.
So you can say it all you want that they were.
I mean, because when it's a little bit of money, that could be, when you're 20s, you think Cheesecake Factory is the epitome of a $5 restaurant.
You taking at a Red Lobster.
So you want that, and that's what she's looking for. She wants that.
Hold on. Listen. I know this is your show, and this might be the last time that you guys ever invite me, but I will not take cheesecake slander from you ladies.
Cheesecake Factory is nasty.
Not take Cheesecake Factory slander from you ladies.
It's not good. It's not good. You gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop telling that lie. Cheesecake
it's not even about how much it costs. It's just not good.
Forget Cheesecake Factory. I hate cheesecake.
That's fine. That's fine. Courtney, this might be our last time. This might be our last time, Courtney. This might be our last time, son. This might be our last time.
You know what? I'll even go. I absolutely love seafood. Red Lobster is not the epitome of good seafood.
Yeah, real.
Some people think they are when they're in their 20s.
That's fine. You can slander Red Lobster all you want, but Cheesecake Factory is another level.
Cheesecake Factory. No, it's not.
No, because black people treat Cheesecake Factory like Tyler Perry movies. We gotta just go ahead and say that shit ain't good. Like, we gotta just stop. We just gotta go ahead. Like, just cut it out.
Hey, you gonna not come from Tyler Perry, okay? You better leave that.
I know. Now we're not gonna get TP studio.
Quit. I need to be down in Atlanta in TP Studios. Don't do Tyler like that, Tyler. That's not me.
Actually, yeah, you're right about that. Hey, Tyler, Runs a Podcast. We love that badge too. All right, great movies you got going on over there.
The views of Siobhan does not reflect on the Sister Time podcast.
or bruh, it's a podcast for that matter.
Exactly.
Sponsored by Cheesecake Factory. All right.
We was talking about how
but we were talking about like you saying like girls just want to have fun. Like they want the Cheesecake Factory, the Red Lobster, the Olive Garden. They want to go on a cruise. They want to go on vacation. They want to do all that kind of stuff, which means there is some level of the superficial security that they are looking for in their 20s. Yes.
So when's the bad boy phase? When's the bad boy phase?
It depends on how you was raised.
It depends on how you was raised.
What's the bad boy? Because my interaction was the bad boy phase was in the 20s, but apparently for you guys it wasn't.
Not always. It depends on.
Yes. I know for you specifically, no, but I'm talking about generalities here, right?
No. When
you again, it still depends on. It depends on when you. It depends on where you come from.
If you were one of those girls that was like super like restricted and couldn't go nowhere and all the other stuff, your bad boy phase usually happens in your teenage years.
And your teens.
Sometimes when you get to college, depending on how much of an overseer your
college,
parents
maybe.
are.
Right.
But then if you're one of those people who always had their shit together and was really, them girls that's like straight A's all the time and all the highest level classes, really, really focused, they tend to not hit that phase to their 30s because they missed it in their young years. So it really depends on where you're coming from.
So
I would think 20s too.
Exactly.
Not
Thank
always.
you.
No.
It depends on where she at.
It depends. Now I'm not totally saying like all of 20s or nothing like that. I'm not saying that. It still absolutely depends on what you may have dated when you were a teenager, how your home life was, and all of that. Yes, that absolutely matters. It tends to be like the girls that came from the suburbs. For some reason, they're fascinated with the ghetto. So when they turn 15, they go down on the corner of the neighborhood. And go find a drug dealer at 15
I
years
didn't
old.
date drug dealers till I was
And
19,
then she grows up.
No, thank you. I wouldn't try to catch you on stray bullet.
I didn't date drug dealers till college.
but that's what I'm saying is that if one could be having their bad boy phase in their 30s potentially, and obviously this is not the thing, so it's possible in their 20s, late 20s as well, and it's possible in their earlier 20s. That's what I'm saying is, maybe it's me specifically, but a lot of women I know who actually are in their 20s still, maybe their earlier 20s, 24, and even when I was in my 20s, they were still in the bad boy phase, and I was just like, really, that's what we doing? Okay.
And I mean, for some of them, that phase never go no damn way either.
That's also a thing.
And
you gotta
if it does, they're gonna figure out that they wasted their time because, like we have said before, women we just do not have the luxury of time.
Yeah.
Or they don't realize they wasted their time, and that's just what they want for the rest of their life. So I mean,
or that I was saying, somebody said that they never get out the phase, and I was saying this is another thing. Either don't get out the phase, or be like, ooh, I'm 31, I don't want the bad boy no more. And now the good guy with money looking like, no, you can't waste your prime years on the bad guy that want me to come in and save you.
My bad boy phase
maybe
2 years. Somebody put a gun in my face and I was done. I was like, I'm not built for this.
Okay. I ain't go that bad now. I ain't had no guns now.
I mean, I was dating a drug dealer. What you think that happens?
Ain't go that far.
And I was like, ooh, I'm not built for this shit at all. Let me go sit down. Go take my ass to class.
I want to ask the guys a question. What do you think women value in men and to marry? Yeah. A marriageable.
Lord,
is that a word?
No,
it's not.
A marriageable man.
Go ahead.
You know what you mean.
Title. What's a marriageable man?
A marriageable man.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. Honestly, I think it's just one word. I think it's just security. I think whether it be money, I mean, money, it just always comes back to money, right? You can say job, you can say, having a house or a car, whatever. I think it's just security. Like, it's like, if I know that at least I can live well, whatever that means in your definition, and have somewhere to be and sleep, like, that's it. Like, that's a large portion of it. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Security is a large blanket, so it kind of goes over my word, which was loyalty. You just want somebody who you know is gonna be there. So it's a large blanket. Security falls under that. So I was gonna say loyalty. You just know that when you call, I'll pick up. You are one of my priorities, or something like that. That's what I would say.
No, I wouldn't.
You would be. I think this gonna mess some females up when it comes time to the date.
You're probably on the same page.
I think you would be very, very surprised how much women are willing to deal with the disloyalty at the beginning.
Yep.
Because of the potential. And that was going to be my question. Is it unintelligent to date potential?
Yes.
And also remember that
it's risky. So, but I wondered.
It's also thinking of it. You got to thinking about it in the sense that we, especially as Black women, are taught from a very very young age, half a man is better than no man.
Half a man is
So
better than
it's a
no man.
whole
Right
lot
or
of
die.
shit that women put
You
up
always
with
got to be
that
there.
they wouldn't
He
normally
just gonna
put up
do
with.
that. That's
See,
how
I should have
men
met
are.
I should have met these women earlier when I was young. I would have just.
You see what he's saying? They don't know what you said. 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 They're gonna end the part out where you said you would have ran through all these women. Right, continue.
Oh,
No, it's staying in. All of it's staying in.
So you saw all our faces when you said loyalty. It's no, not quite.
If we did a poll right now, that should be so low.
I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna go as far as to say it's so low, but
I mean,
also
it depends on what we
not.
list.
It's probably not as high as men think.
Financial security is going to be up there.
You're saying men think. That's E. That's what E thinks.
Security. To me, security is such a
No.
broad umbrella. To me, security is such a broad umbrella. It's a broad umbrella. That's why I said it.
I mean, but you know, when people say security, they're almost always talking about financial or material.
Yeah.
And physical.
Like,
so you're literally explaining what I said, right?
No,
there's a broad umbrella because you're saying.
But it's not really,
you know how none of those things
really,
they said was loyalty, right?
It's not really a broad umbrella because it's like, does he work? Do I have a place to live? And can he beat this nigga up if he try me? That's all they looking for.
That's the first
know what
thing.
can be outside of that umbrella in the rain?
Yeah. Loyalty.
I could probably name like 2 more things underneath loyalty. I'd probably pick him looking at like a supermodel, but looking better over loyalty. Not me personally.
I mean, look at Derek Jackson's wife. She put up with this nigga running through everybody because he was fine.
So you have financial security, physical security. You gotta look good. And then loyalty.
Yeah,
that's
like
just,
loyalty.
that's how it is.
There, I just don't think it's as high.
It's not as high as men may think.
And
even though we want it, let's not get it twisted. We
want it shift depending on how fine you are. That's really what it is.
I want to thank you, ladies. I'm taking notes. I want to thank you.
but that's also true. Women are willing to deal with a lot more when you are able, when they can go on a vacation at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
When you can beat this dude up because he touched my ass. When you can, when there is a house that I know I never got to worry about a bill being paid. Yeah. I'm willing to put up with a little bit more because, and he looks good. When all of that's there, it's like,
when a lifestyle can be provided, when a lifestyle can be provided, a lot of these other things that are on the list, it's just weighted a lot way down.
That loyalty shoots up when you're talking about dealing with somebody who is
unattractive or is beneath you. Financial
that's
standing.
When the loyalty.
Yeah,
because the first thing they'll say, I can't believe I gave this ugly ass nigga a chance and he treated me like I was the ugly one.
This broke nigga living at home with his mama and no car.
Yeah, the audacity.
Get upset.
Right.
It's like.
He needs to act his face.
It depends.
No, that's true.
He needs to act his face. But here's one thing I've heard someone say that thing is men and women show their loyalty differently. I heard this like recently. I have time to think about it. Men show it with their time and resources, and women usually show it with being monogamous.
Their presence. Yeah,
I can get that. I haven't really took time to really break that down, but I feel like that could be true because a lot of men spend a lot of time building up his wealth and a lot of time outside the house working. So for you to get that, that's how he shows his loyalty.
See, y'all gonna get me in trouble because I think the whole monogamous thing, right? If y'all are talking about when we're in a relationship or you're dating or I think, and E, you probably will disagree with me. As a man, when I give you the time and resources, honestly, I could be doing whatever with any of these other females. If I'm not doing all of this with them, it really doesn't mean anything. I understand y'all want, you want me to be loyal to you. You want me to be the only one. But if I spend my time, I only go out with you. I only hang out with you. I only buy you stuff. And then I'm with I get a nut off every now and then with somebody else. And then I come back I understand that that's supposed to be how the world works, but
I
I
feel
just
like
don't
You
no,
agree
I feel
with
like
him.
You know what's funny?
I agree with him.
I don't hold on, wait a minute. No.
because loyalty
Yeah, that's the
down
thing.
there.
That's the thing. It's like that's pretty unpopular on the surface when women talk like, "Oh, I don't want a man to cheat." It's like, girl, shut up. You know, if you getting everything at home like you've been getting, ain't nothing really changed. You're not gonna leave that man. Like, stop telling yourself that. Stop trying to make it seem like you so holier than thou, and my man need to be Shut up. Shut up.
I also think
You're
that
lying
monogamy
to
is a
yourself.
farce anyway,
Yeah.
so, but you know.
I ain't gonna go that far, but
No, I do. I think
But
monogamy
I've
is a
said
farce,
men
but
show-
you know.
go ahead, Siobhan.
I think it's unnatural and people try to force it and put too much on it personally, but you know, that's me. I'm weird in that sense.
Possibly. I'm starting to feel that because, like I said, I've been hearing men show their loyalty and they love you in a different way. Like men can really go have sex with a sock and it don't even matter.
Yep. Don't even mean it.
it don't matter. So
Because
I feel like
the
men and women need to stop trying to treat each other the same. We're not the same.
I do agree with that.
But the reason why I say I think that people put too much on monogamy is because it's like when you out here dating, y'all may go to dinner once or twice, decide, oh, I want to smash and go at it. But then the second y'all decide, oh, we gonna have a relationship. Now all of a sudden you're supposed to cut all sexual attraction to everybody else off. Like that shit is stupid.
Right.
It's
No,
like
no,
you can build a life over here because you've already shown that sex don't mean that much to you, or else you wouldn't have had sex with all these people that you was not in a relationship with.
I don't think it's
Why do
an
it mean so much
expectation.
now?
I don't think it's an expectation of no longer being sexually attracted to people because now that's
For some people.
stupid. No, that's dumb. I don't all of a sudden become unattracted just because we're in a relationship. No, that's not the case. I think it's the acting upon it is the issue that people really have.
But I still don't get why people put so much on it because, like I said, if you're putting all this weight on the physical act of having sex, right? Because y'all decided y'all are in a relationship at this point, whatever that may mean to you. But if it was all that and that weighted that heavy, you wouldn't have smashed 10 niggas before you got to this one that you wasn't in the relationship with. Just like he wouldn't have been out there doing whatever with whoever before y'all got to this point. So why is it weighted so heavy now when that's not what your relationship is built
on? Okay, let's hear from the guys.
One of the men.
You've been quiet.
Yeah, you've been quiet.
Okay, go ahead.
I listened to Siobhan's logic and I understand it completely. I might not agree, but I understand her logic completely.
I understand what she's saying, but I don't agree.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. But Siobhan, if she wrote a book, I'd be like, yeah, Siobhan makes sense. Siobhan makes sense.
But honestly, that's the thing about these conversations. We ain't gotta agree, but I get what you're saying. I don't agree.
I've always thought, like, if I ask y'all a question, this is not to Siobhan because I already know where she is.
Yeah, we in the same place.
In the same place. If I said to y'all, like, okay, you had a perfect man, right? He did everything you needed him to do. Everything. He was everything you needed from him. Great job, money, everything. And the only thing that you had to do, like for this relationship to work, was he just had to have sex with, I don't know, either one woman every week or someone consistently, or every so often he could step out. That was the only thing that he asked that he needed to do. Would y'all be okay with it? And if the answer is no, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hold on, before I even let y'all go, just a quick yes or no answer, and then I'll say what the second part of that statement.
Okay.
For me, it's not going to be your yes or no.
But you can explain, but just give me your quick thought answer.
Okay, so I guess the quick will be yes.
Okay, so you would be okay with it. All right, Sharice, same.
You drinking water?
Yes.
I really want to explain my yes.
Okay, so the last part that I
kind of want to explain it too.
Yeah, you guys can both explain it. So the last part that I was going to say, because I feel like you guys are answering, because I feel like if the answer is no, then I would say to you, is it worth you cutting off your own happiness just for you to have this image of monogamy? But I'll let both of you guys go.
Okay, so Am I willing to deal with that? The answer is yes. Now, the things that I would expect to come with that is
Stipulations.
because it's the truth.
Kind of.
The things that I would expect to come with that is she should never be able to hold nothing over my head. I'm not running to this broad and she knows something more about my man than I do, or more about me than I know about her. Don't bring home no babies. Don't bring home nothing I can't get rid of. Beyond that, no. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. I mean, let's be 100% honest. If you had to choose getting some, would you rather have HIV or chlamydia? It's like, at least I can get a shot for this.
Can we do nothing?
No, that is an option, but let's be honest. The ones that you're really worried about, the ones you're really worried about are ones you can't get rid of. And that includes a baby. So don't bring home those things. She should never be able to walk into a room and have an upper hand on me. Those are really the things that I'm asking. That's beyond that, I think I'll be able to deal with it.
Give your part, because I have a question. I have a question for Chanel to that too.
Don't embarrass me. No babies, no diseases, and don't put her up in no condo. Like she gotta pay her own rent.
Okay. So I have a question for you. Do you guys want to know who the person is? Do you guys want to know that he's doing it? Or do you guys prefer, like in the beginning, he goes, listen, I need to have my fun, and that's that? Or do you guys want to know, okay, it's this girl and blah, blah, blah?
Only if we're like running into the same circle. For one, don't do it in my same circle. That might be a lot of stipulations, but if you're going to do it with somebody, like say we go to like an event or something, and she's there, say something real quick or something like that. Yes. Maybe I got to think about that, because I don't want her to come up and like. I'm not even to answer your first question. Hold on, Chanel. The answer is just be like, you know what? I'm out on the road a lot. Something might happen. And I'll be like, all right, I ain't gonna ask no questions unless I really want to know the answer to.
Yeah, okay. I don't think you should be going around asking questions because you gotta be prepared to hear some stuff that you don't want to hear. But as far as the do I want to specifically know who she is, I only want to know if there is a chance of me running into her. Like I'm not walking, like if it's your secretary at work and we going to an office party, I'm not walking into that office party and she knows that y'all been messing around and I don't.
Yeah.
We can't do that. That's an issue for me. Now, if it's some random chick from some random club that I'm never gonna run into, right? I don't need to know about that. I don't need to know all that information. But if it's gonna be if it's gonna be we are running into each other and she is holding something over my head because she knows more about my relationship, my man, and me than I do, that's when I have an issue.
Follow-up question. Understood. Your points are understood and clear. Follow-up question. I think I lost my follow-up question, which is pretty bad.
I personally don't care either way to know or not know. I personally don't care. I let me know what you want to tell me. Just know that whatever you tell me, I am then going to tell you, because I am very much a person of reciprocity. This is not a one-side open relationship. If
you're out there doing
and that's
doing, there you go.
What I'm doing.
That was my follow-up question.
If you don't want to know what I'm doing, don't tell me what you do.
So is the follow-up question, am I able to go out and do whatever? Is that the follow-up question?
Yes, the follow-up question is, are you able to only be with him?
Now, before you answer, this question also does not apply to Siobhan, because I feel like Chanel and Sharice are about to cheat with their answers. But go ahead. Go.
I'm not going to cheat. I feel like it applies to me too, and you can't get mad if I'm doing it. If you expect,
so you are going to sleep with other people.
No, it's not that I am. I'm saying if I choose to.
The option is there though.
The option is there. You can't. You can't have the rule of
me before
monogamy is unreal for you, but it's dead ass 100% real for me. No, we're not gonna have that.
Hold on, that wasn't Courtney's
wait.
premise. That was not
Let me
Courtney's
answer,
premise.
let me answer,
Courtney's
let me answer.
Courtney's premise was not about monogamy. His premise was, I'm just not being monogamous, but you're gonna get everything else. You gonna get everything
Okay.
else.
Okay, but hold on, but no. Okay, let's go back to that. If it's the only thing that I'm not getting out of you is monogamy, then you have to understand that that's going to be something else that's coming out of my side as well. It's the possibility.
All right,
It's
so
not
I
to
would
say
still
I'm
be
100% going to do it, but it's the possibility. If I end up doing it, then I end up doing it.
all right, Sharice, go before I rebut.
I would be monogamous because like I mentioned earlier, I feel like men and women show their love and differently.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of times women can get more attached sexually, and she could be the one to get pregnant. Not all the time, Chanel, because I know there's been times in like almost every girl's life when she sex have emotional attachment. But I feel like more often than not, she does. And that's just not how women show their loyalty. Wait, that's how women show their loyalty by their monogamy. I feel like men just put it up here more. Like the way we're speaking, saying we don't, not that we want our man to cheat. It's like, if you do, men don't feel that way.
Yeah. So that's what I was
They
going to
want you to be monogamous.
Yeah, you can't. So what you're doing is you're changing who you are as a person, because like she was saying, you value monogamy, right? Like you hold it at a certain way. So now for you to all of a sudden just change and be like, all right, well, if you don't, then I don't. Like you're changing who you are as a person in terms of like what you were saying you held dear, right?
No. So I'm not saying that it immediately means because you did it, I'm going to do it. What I'm saying is if you did it, because the thing is no matter how much anybody holds monogamy, how high they hold it, if they feel a certain way about a certain thing. So if monogamy is something very important to them, okay, and they maybe feel like, okay, I can deal with him not being monogamous, but other things may fall short, or you just start to feel like I'm not really feeling it as much as I used to. So now I'm going to start finding what I'm looking for somewhere else. It doesn't mean that I all of a sudden think monogamy is lower on a totem pole. It's just that at this point, the way my mental is working and my emotional is working right now, I'm feeling as if I have to go and find things elsewhere because I'm not getting that from him. I'm not saying it immediately means I'm going to go out, but the possibility is there. And if it happens, first off, the possibility is always there. I don't know anybody that got 20, 30, 40, 50-year marriages where infidelity has not come up. I really, really don't. But if it gets to that point, you need to understand just as much as I was willing to accept it from you, you should be able to accept it from me.
You weren't willing to accept it. You were willing to accept it on the premise that he provided everything else.
Yeah.
So it's like,
okay, so but if the woman provides everything else, you should be able to accept it as well.
No, you're right. I agree. So if I cheat,
that's what I'm saying.
So then now you better be paying these same bills. You better be taking care of me the same way.
No. I'm talking about what you what you wanted in a woman, what you want in a woman. Mm-hmm. Because obviously I don't want the same things out of a man that a man wants out of me. Mm-hmm. And I understand that. Mm-hmm. So if everything else is being met and then monogamy is the last thing, then if you want me to accept the fact that you're not monogamous, you have to be willing to accept it as well. If we're going to go down that road, yes.
He doesn't have to accept that you're not going to be monogamous. He can accept something else that he doesn't care that much about. He doesn't have to accept you not being monogamous. That's like you're saying, I feel like that's the only thing that's kind of like the same with men and women. Okay, let's go with a man saying that I'm not going to accept you making less than $60,000. It really doesn't matter. Like it's not the same thing for men and women. You can't say he has to accept the thing that you're willing to accept with him. That makes sense.
Yeah, no,
I
understand what you're saying, but like I said, I think that also changes the premise of what Courtney was asking. And Courtney's here to say it if I'm wrong, because he said this is what he gives everything. Yeah, you're getting everything you want except this. But that also comes with the premise that he's giving you everything that you want, and he gets what he wants out of it too. So to be fair, maybe Sharice can tell me if I'm wrong. maybe he views monogamy like you view financial security.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what it is.
He wouldn't accept it if he wasn't providing all of those other things, right?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have the lifestyle to provide, the money, the security, the house, you not having to,
Yeah.
you wouldn't accept
Right.
this deal. This deal wouldn't even exist. It wouldn't even be a thought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
That's-
feel like
that's what it said.
Chanel,
I
the first thing you said to prove your point was, and then you kind of like not disprove, but you went against what Courtney said. He said you're getting all this, and what you said is, what if you're out there not being monogamous and then you're lacking in some area? I can't remember exactly what you said. I'm like, that's not what Courtney was saying. He said you were getting everything, and you're saying once you're not being monogamous, you might be lacking in certain areas. At that point, the deal is off because you're lagging on something that you have to be on point with.
Okay, well, I can take that. I can take that. So I'll go with, okay, I can take that. I'll go with the everything is being met, but one night I decided to have a one night stand. That's still no longer monogamous, but it is still
But
having
that's
everything
still-
that I initially had met.
But that's still you breaking the deal because
Wow.
what
He didn't put that on.
what the deal was when it was laid out was, me as the man in this relationship, I'm gonna do these things, but I'm gonna have 2 or 3 bitches, I'm saying. But you're gonna do these things and you're gonna be with me. That's the deal that was laid out.
Mhm.
And once you step out, you broke that deal because it wasn't part of your deal that you
Looks
had
like,
the option to do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
looks like,
okay,
um,
okay, no, okay.
Let Courtney go.
Incorrect, right? Because in that same vein, I don't know if y'all seen these videos. It's like when a woman cheats and when a man cheats, like
Yeah.
man gets so butt hurt, like he just be crying, like I can't, you know, like it's hypocritical. So I'm agreeing in the way, like it doesn't make sense and it shouldn't hold as much value. But like when a man gets cheated on, now all of a sudden the world is, there's no sense of being able to understand what had happened. You know what I mean? If I do it, it's like, oh yeah, no, this doesn't mean anything. So,
But that's sounding like men are the ones who hold monogamy at a higher, as a higher standard in relationship.
Not monogamy. Loyalty.
yes,
Not monogamy.
But no. Monogamy, but only on my end.
That's what makes it loyalty,
That's
not
why it
monogamy.
becomes loyalty and not monogamy.
That's what makes it loyalty, not monogamy.
It's fine. I feel like men and women need to stop
Need to
treating
be
men.
honest about the type of relationships they want to have.
Yeah,
fine.
and
I agree with
it's
that.
like it's almost like you want the man to think like you.
Yeah.
They don't.
The thing,
Go ahead,
no,
go ahead.
the thing is, I actually don't. What I am saying is, I feel that especially things like monogamy, because let's be 100% honest, neither person really wants to be cheated on. Some people may be able to deal with it longer, more often, whatever the case may be. Nobody really wants to be cheated on, right? So what I'm saying is, if it's an option for you, it should be an option for me. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but if it's an option for you, it should be an option for me. Because
A man has to make.
because you don't want to be cheated on either. So if it's okay for you at some point, it should be okay for me at some point as well.
That's like saying you want your man to make $80,000 and he turning you like, you need to make $80,000 too. No, it's different.
No, it's not.
It is
Because no. Because men don't come in saying women have to make 80. But both partners come in like, I don't want to be cheated on. That's something that both of them
Not
don't
necessarily.
want to begin with.
Yeah.
More often than not, more often than not, neither party wants to be cheated
when
on.
you say cheating, there's an agreement that there's something there, right?
Yeah.
So women get to that agreement or that contract sooner than a man does, right? Yes, you're right. If I'm married to a woman or I'm in a serious long-term relationship, you're right. More times than not, a man doesn't be cheated on.
So were we not talking about long-term relationships and marriage? Were we just talking about dating?
Yeah, but I'm just going off of the point that you were.
Okay. I might say because dating, whatever. We ain't established nothing yet.
But yeah, but when you're talking about that, like wanting to be cheated on but like that only means something once that agreement has been made to what does it mean for you to be cheated on? Like there's
I agree.
There's
Okay.
right? Or else it's just I'm doing this, you're doing that. But when there's that agreement of like we are this and you are my one and you are my one, then cheating can happen because you're cheating on something. There has to be something to be cheated on.
Correct. I agree.
'Cause it
I
really-
agree with that.
And it
But
depends on how
but
you
hold on,
define cheating.
wait a minute. Let's go back. I just want to make sure that that is what we were actually
Yes,
talking
that's
about
what
to
we were
begin
talking
with.
about. Yes, that's what we were
Because
talking
yeah.
about.
Okay, because to me that still goes back to neither one of us want to be cheated on after we've made that decision.
But it also depends on what you define as cheating, right? Because in the scenario,
No, it
that
doesn't.
was-
It doesn't
no,
matter.
it does
No,
though.
no, hold
because-
on. No. This is the reason why I say it doesn't matter what you define as cheating, because whatever you have defined as cheating, it still is that person doing whatever you defined as cheating, rather it
No,
be
no,
the
no, no,
emotional
no, no.
connection.
And this is why I say that. This is why I say that, because in the scenario that was laid out, the agreement was in your relationship, he's allowed to have other women, right? But you're not. That wasn't
No, he
part of
didn't.
the agreement.
I don't think. No, hold on. Wait a minute. Did you say allowed to or be willing to deal with it if you did it?
I mean, either way. It's,
I mean,
No,
semantics,
no, because that matters. That I feel like that matters. If I flat out say, okay, we can do such and such, and then you got a hall pass, because the thing is, if it's really about a hall pass, I wouldn't have had those stipulations on it. It would have been just, it is.
But
what
when
it is.
y'all got in the relationship, based on the scenario that was laid out in the relationship, it was said, these are the things I'm bringing to the table. This is the one thing that I need, which is to have other women.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he
it was
said
not
that.
said that it is in that same contract that was laid out. It was not said that you're allowed to be with other men or women, whatever you prefer. So based on what was laid out, the bounds of cheating is not physical for him, but it's physical for you.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it depends on what y'all define as cheating, because that depends on what y'all define in the bounds of y'all relationship. Like for me, I don't think cheating is a physical act. To me, cheating is an emotional investment, because that means you took the time to really, really get invested in this person. So it really depends on how you define cheating in your relationship.
We just need to clone a bunch of Siobhans and just post them.
I think
You don't
it's
need
kind
more
of
than
like
one to be around.
there's like a Disney type of fairy tale way of thinking when you say, if you could do it, I could do it. Like men and women are just different. I don't think people should, women should think, oh, men do it, I can do it. It's not the same, because we more than likely just think differently. We hold things in different pedestals. So I think to say just because he does it, I should be able to do it.
Yeah.
I honestly, I really feel like cheating, the being with other people is the only thing that falls into that category of if he can do it, I can do it, because both of us hold that as a standard of I don't want to be cheated on.
Like,
That's like the one thing that both sexes actually agree with.
But that's not necessarily true, because yes, no one wants to be cheated on. That is a vague statement, but it's a different level of priority. For you just stated loyalty is like number 5 on your list, but for a man, loyalty might be number 1. There's just different levels to it. They're both quote unquote priorities, or they're both quote unquote on the list, but one person holds it of more value than the other. And that's all it is. You can't say that financial security is your number 1 and he says loyalty is his number 1, and you'll be like, well, they're of equal value. That's not true. That's all it is. It's just not true. And in regards to Siobhan, yes, he's not talking about monogamy. He's just saying he can't be monogamous, but you got to be. That's all it is. He's saying I can't be monogamous, but you got to be.
To have 3 or 4, but you yourself,
yeah,
don't sit here and wait till I get home. That's what he's saying.
So that's what he's saying. He's saying to him, loyalty is a priority. It's number 1. And for you, it's financial security. So
that's why I'm gonna have the roof over your head. Go
exactly.
Ahead.
So he said, I'm willing to give you financial security in response for your loyalty. Yeah. So the second you say, oh no, I can see with other people, all right, fine. Well then, mortgage is due next month. Good luck.
Right.
You know what I mean? So unless you're willing to do that, then no, it's not of equal value. That's what it is.
You say, well, you be with other people. He gonna be like, okay, these are our monthly bills.
Yeah,
we have $12,000 in expenses. $6,000 is due on the first.
Oh, babe, my car got towed. You didn't pay for it, did you?
You're putting where he hoes is number 1 or 2, probably the top 2. I don't think it would go less than that, right, men? Loyalty.
I would argue loyalty
not drop down too far.
I don't think for
Okay.
any man loyalty is going to be less than 1.
Yeah, I would argue
I
loyalty is number 1.
said top 2,
That's up
but
there.
it's like you comparing what they have at 1 to what you have at 5.
Yeah.
Just saying, because you could do it, I could do it. It's like, no, you don't hold it the same regard.
Yeah.
And if you do, you got to find a man that's both you guys aren't going to cheat. But you can't you can't compare your number 5 to your number 1.
Or an
Or
open
I'm just gonna
relationship.
go out on the
Or open
limb.
relationship.
I'm gonna go out on the limb. Loyalty might hold a little bit more value than you thought. That's all I'm gonna say.
No,
That's all I'm gonna say. For
Not
you,
for me.
not for you. I'm just saying.
because I would agree. Go ahead and have your 2. Don't bring no baby home. Don't bring no
Mm-hmm.
diseases, and don't pay for her condo. She could pay for it herself. You just go
You
over
are very
there
set
every
on this
now and then.
condo. Don't get this bitch no place to live. Don't-
Yo, this condo thing is a big deal for Sharice. It's a big thing.
When men be doing it, they'll put their little young girlfriend up in a. No, you're going too far with that one. You
Yeah.
can buy her
It's
some
like now you're stepping out of line.
cheesecake
Paying for the
factory.
bitch.
She'll
Right.
get Cheesecake
And
Factory. She gets
because
Wendy's.
I've heard
She get a
whatever. she doesn't get the same thing I get, because men show their loyalty and love with their time and resources. And I'm not gonna share that.
That's fair.
Point blank.
I understand.
I understand too.
Just don't agree.
Don't agree.
You just want to cheat too.
No, and I think hold on. I think I'm saying I want to. I'm just saying if it ends up happening, like
Can't be blamed for it. You have to.
Like,
I know
don't
you-
get mad.
You back in that yellow light. I hear you.
you.
I don't know. I'm such a weirdo because I really live my whole life based on energy. Like it's like whatever the vibe is what the vibe is. I'm so weird like that. So it's
You are weird, but I still want your autograph.
So it's like
Dang, I
we
had another
we may be in a situation where it's like the vibe is saying I might have to hop on a date tonight, and then sometimes we might not be in that situation. It just be like that. Like
Well, to wrap up this part, I would say it's best to get somebody that's on like the same page.
the same page. Y'all
As
gotta
you.
be.
Oh, absolutely.
Y'all have to be in alignment.
100%.
Like if exactly what Courtney said, if it's laid out like that, and all of a sudden, Chanel, you want to go cheat, you broke the contract. Sorry, I put you in there, but
You put me in it because, like I said, I ain't going out looking for it. But if it happens, it's like, oh no, I'm not gonna say that. Nope, I'm not gonna say
No, let it
I
go. Girl.
think
Let it
if-
go.
Oh
if
no,
you
I
want
really,
to do it,
I'd really get dragged for that one.
I mean,
Say it, girl.
you
Go
wanna
ahead.
do
Who's
it,
judging
you have to
you?
read.
They already
Okay,
know
so
how I
this-
got
negotiate.
skills.
Okay, so this is what I was gonna say.
I mean, we do another podcast together, and I've been thoroughly drained
Let's-
the shit I've seen.
Let's make it 1010% clear. I do not agree with men hitting women. But damn it, if she keeps slapping him and beating him and all that, and one day he
Whoa.
snaps and hit her, it's like, okay, you shouldn't have did that, but I see why it happened.
This took a turn I did not expect.
But that's why I was saying I didn't really want to go that route. But that's what I mean when I say that. What I'm saying is I'm not looking to do it. I'm not saying I'm trying. I'm not saying I'm actively searching for somebody. What I'm saying is if it gets to that point, you gotta understand why it happened.
No, you broke the contract.
That's
I
fair.
don't
was
care
la- it
what
was
you
laid
keep
out-
saying.
You have to renegotiate.
This is the reason. This is the reason why, because there is this contract of let me not quote. There's this contract of men don't hit women, but you can't tell me you wouldn't be like, you know what, Trey? I understand why you slapped the shit out of her. She been beating on you for 6 months.
No.
So that is two complete perspectives, but I
no.
understand your philosophy in
But
regards
that-
to
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's
let me-
what I'm saying is to me it's the same concept in the sense of you got to understand where it came from eventually if
Yeah,
it happens.
You're right. I
That's what I'm
understand
talking
that.
about.
I understand that to you completely. That the fact that you cheat on me enough, eventually I'm gonna get something. That's fine. But also you should know that once you got your something, the contract is null and void.
Yeah.
You
That's
have
all
to
it-
pay half the rent. You have to
That's-
pay-
that's
you
all
have
it
to
is.
Y'all can
Just-
renegotiate
you are-
the contract
Yeah,
after.
you
but
are
the
100%
contract as it
correct.
stands
That, yo,
isn't
You did it 50 times. All I did it was once. And he's like, yeah, but all it took was once to violate the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's just, do
Now
y'all want
it's
to
gonna be-
renegotiate the terms or not? Because the contract, as it was stated, is over.
Yeah, now he's not going to do everything that was on there and not pay all the bills and
Maybe.
everything, which if you're fine with that, then that's cool. I mean, but he has the right, he has every right to take some back, because the agreement was, I would do all these things for you. You stay loyal to me and monogamous.
You stay cute and in the
And-
house.
If we're talking
Right.
about
And
the
if you agree
right,
with that at the beginning,
if we're talking about the right, then he has the right to call off the relationship.
Yeah.
he does.
If
Because
that's
you
if,
broke,
if we're
you
gonna be
broke-
100, he has the right to be like, you know what, this ain't working for me no more.
Just like you
Yeah,
had a right
it
to
might-
say, I can't do a relationship where you got 2 or 3 other bitches on set.
Right. You can't
I-
agree and then be like, never mind, it's too
But
many
hold
times.
on, wait a minute, hold on, wait. No, I'm not gonna 100% agree on that, because like, as you grow and get older, things begin to change.
Mhm.
Like after 15, 20
Mm-hmm.
years, what you were totally okay with at 25, you ain't okay with no more at 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you
that could
definitely have a
also,
right
but
to
and
decide
that,
at
and
any
the
point
thing,
this
and the
don't work
thing
for you
is,
no more.
and the thing is that falls into the same category of any other thing in a relationship. The things that were okay and you're willing to deal with, you accepted and all of that 20 years ago could be different now. And it's like, okay, dude, now
Right.
it has gotten to the point of, you know, whatever the case may be. But I mean, are you willing to pivot once you've invested yourself and it's something else and not necessarily this monogamy thing?
Mm.
But when other things happen in relationships, like Siobhan, you've been with your husband for what, 15 years?
Something like that.
I'm sure the relationship is not the same now that it was 15 years ago.
No, it's not. But that's what I was just about to say. Because it's like you get to the point where that's when it becomes early, where it's, and that's why I don't really believe in putting all these weird ass stipulations on relationships, because it's like you're putting now causes on forever situations, right? So it's like your clauses when I met him when I was 19, when we met, I didn't even know we was gonna start dating because I didn't even like the nigga. When we started dating years later, 4 or 5 years later, the way we started and the way, like, the version that he got when I was 22 or whatever, I can't be that same person. That's when it comes to growing and changing together,
Mhm.
and the bounds of your relationship changing, because relationships are forever negotiating contracts, right?
But that's what I
y'all
mean when I'm
always are
talking.
doing.
But that's what I'm
But-
referring to as
But
far
it
as
goes
this
to,
thing.
but with that, there needs to be a conversation that the bounds of the contract are going to change. You
Mm.
can't just change it and then say,
Yeah,
now you
I see
have to
that.
deal.
Yeah.
They have to, it
Yeah.
has to be a conversation that the way we're gonna operate
Okay.
in our relationship is going to
Yeah.
change.
I can
Sometimes
accept
it
that.
changes naturally, sometimes it does take a conversation, but
I can accept
it's like,
that.
this is where I'm at now at my current state, you know.
Okay,
Mhm.
I can accept that.
Yeah,
Now
because who knows?
that's a
He-
little different. I can accept that.
He might start getting tired of it.
Yeah, he may
Oh.
decide I'm not even in the space that I
Maybe.
want to do this.
That's
no more.
true, that's
Or
Maybe.
he might lose his job and you be like, them other girls do.
Yeah, like, it's like, okay, so now I gotta go work, so now they
Okay.
gotta go over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So-
so I can accept that. Maybe it would have been better had I explained it more in a sense of, you know, shit changes 15 years later, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, hold on.
And
you-
it
now.
ain't
as long as
been
you just
quite
have a
15 years, but
conversation.
pretty
But don't,
close.
Okay,
but don't,
that I can take.
but you also have to be ready to walk away.
You
Because
have to be ready
No,
to walk
I
away.
understand
will
that.
tell
I
you
agree.
More
I
than,
agree.
More than not, 15 years later, he's still working, he's still doing his thing, and then you be like, babe, it's starting to get to me. He gonna be like, yeah, that's
Well, let me go find
It's a
somebody who don't
possibility.
need to.
I
He
can,
gonna be
and I
like,
can accept.
he gonna be like, yeah,
I
that's
can
not
even
what we
accept
agreed
that.
on.
I can, you know what? I can take that.
He'd be
But
like, yeah, that's not
that's-
what we agreed on. So
But that's
you
what I
gotta
be
be
talking
ready.
about when I say, like, I operate on like vibes and energy, because sometimes you meet somebody and y'all in sync immediately, right? Y'all vibe is there, y'all energy's there, and then 5-10 years later, it's like, ooh, we ain't in alignment no more. But when you work like that, once it don't serve your energy and your purpose, it's easy to break away because it's not an emotional thing. It's like, this is just not serving me anymore.
Mhm.
So it's a lot
Okay.
easier to walk away.
Agreed. Everybody agree?
Yeah, this was an awesome conversation. I love that y'all had
I
us.
know. I want one more scenario. I can't think of anything.
But girl, we've been on here for what, an hour and a
It's a
half, 2
long
hours?
time now.
Oh man.
This is our longest podcast. We usually cut it off at 30 minutes. So we like
Oh, no, I don't think.
We
gotta
normally
come
cut it off
We're
at like
about
an hour.
Yeah, we usually do about
so
an
just
hour.
let y'all know we like it, because we be like, yo, it's 30 minutes, bro. It's been real, ladies. It's real, ladies.
Y'all gotta invite us back, and then we'll have Q here as well, because I can't even imagine what Q would have been saying.
I'm actually kind of sad he wasn't here because I listen to y'all podcast. I'm very interested to hear what he has to say.
You would have been on.
Yeah, I want to do it again. I'll have more scenarios.
We'll definitely have y'all
questions
again
to
for
ask
another topic.
from a male
So yeah, because
perspective.
you guys, so Siobhan, since you listen to us, you know we're more comedy.
Yeah.
This was like really serious, and I'm like, oh man, like, oh, I ain't
I
cracked
know,
one
but
joke yet.
I thought y'all would have been good counterpoints
You
to
know,
what we were saying.
you know, for the most part, women like to talk just to talk, not just for laughter.
I was like, this will be a funny,
let's have a
rambling conversation.
It's all right. Don't
No,
worry,
y'all had us exercise our brains a little bit. So this
we learn new words like marriageable. You know what I mean? We got better. We got
A
better.
marriageable man.
That's gonna be the title of this episode. I'm telling y'all.
Y'all knew what I meant.
The funny thing is, every single one of us knew exactly what you
That's
meant.
like what you meant. I was like, marriageable. That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't think I heard that one before. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess this is the end of this particular episode. Like we said, this was way longer than.
We normally don't go this long, but this was fun.
Right.
It was a good time.
This was fun. It was a good time. It was nice to hear male's perspective, men's perspective. I don't know what's PC anymore, but I don't, because apparently it's offensive to say female. Okay, I
assure you that I'm a male and I'm a man.
Hands off. I'm not touching it. You all. It was nice to have you all on here. Hopefully we'll come back again. Thanks you guys for listening to us. We'll be back next Wednesday with a new topic. See you guys then. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you.
Peace.